Well. Hello, everyone. I'm just arranging a couple of things with my camera, but hopefully it's looking as good as I'm seeing it on my end, and it's going to be a little bit weird looking at myself from this different angle, but that is okay. Welcome, whoever might be here at this point, now or later, to this first live of the channel. Yay! I'm doing this, so I can familiarize myself a bit with live on YouTube, and also because I decided to do a little bit of a switcheroo on how I do unboxing and stuff. I kind of felt like doing it, so that's why it's a little bit later in a day, at least to me. Currently, it's evening time. I don't know where you might be at this time. Um, it's not necessarily going to be always at this time if I do decide to do lives. It might be earlier. I'll try to make it earlier at least. And also, it's been a while since I've been able to post something on the channel, so I wanted to do a live to do a change. Also, that was another reason. So, as it's mentioned in my description, I will be doing an unboxing based on AnimeCon. So we have AnimeCon happening, I believe, in August in my city. So I figured, why not show a couple of my anime decks, namely, maybe I'll be able to get to two of them, but definitely one of them based on anime. Definitely a popular one that I definitely loved watching when I was younger. And I'll tell you right now what it is, and I'll show it to you guys. It's the Moon Prism Tarot. Look at this nice little box. So this is an indie tarot that I got, or actually I backed on Kickstarter, I should say, back in 2022. I got it off of Kickstarter. This is a collab deck that was created, at least the group, the head group that uh, spearheaded that project is Catstealers-Zine. Catstealers-Zine. I have an issue with my S's today. And so they did that with, I believe, almost 70 plus artists and things like that. So let me just grab a scissors. So I decided to take that one, obviously, because Sailor Moon themed. Um, I don't think it would be hard to guess by that I am a fan of Sailor Moon. On top of being a fan of anime, I used to watch Sailor Moon regularly when I was younger, after school or at lunchtime when I would go home for lunch. And even now, I've recently, maybe last summer or something like that, I've rewatched all the seasons of Sailor Moon. I did not get into um, Sailor Moon Crystal or Sailor Moon S Crystal, however it's named again, and I didn't get into the movies, but maybe one of these days I'll get to it. It's just right now, life is a little bit busy and other things are going on. But in any case, so on top of the deck, what I got is this nice little bag here. It's a linen bag, and it's all, and you can see it's kind of printed. So yeah, it's like a canvas linen bag, kind of nice. It feels like it's gonna be a sturdy thing. And I also got this really nice, what is it called? I guess we'll call it like a tarot mat. Although just by looking at the fabric, it seemed like a scarf fabric. I'd be tempted to use it more as a scarf than an actual tarot cloth type of thing. Oh yeah, definitely. It's like silken, and there's not like a backing or anything like that. But if we look here, we have in the positions essentially a Celtic cross. So here we have the top, bottom, the cross, the sides, and then here at the far right hand side of me, we have the four other cards there. So this is really pretty and really nice. And then finally, the other thing I got is this guidebook. Now, that is not the guidebook. In the Kickstarter campaign at the time, you received the guidebook by PDF. And for some reason, I'm not really sure where my I didn't save it on my phone or on my computer, so it's a bit hard for me to find it. But if you can kind of see it, it's like a bullet journal type of paper spread that we have going on. So that's pretty cool. And it smells nice. So let's see. Inside the box also is very nice and pretty. It's a clamshell situation we got, and we had it here. All the Catstealers-Zine, aka the planetary signs. We got staff and the same thing bottom. Ooh, and a different moon one here. Oh, and here. While I'm here and I'm looking at the back of the card, let's read it. If my camera will focus proper. If you could please focus. There we go. Moon Prism Tarot transforms the friendship, stories, and heart of Sailor Moon into a fully illustrated tarot deck. This deck is crafted by a tarot team with more than 45 years combined tarot practice and illustrated by 80 plus artists. So yes, at 70 was actually 80 more. From all over the world, brought together by their love and memories of Sailor Moon. Like the Catstealers-Zine, each artist brings their own personality, style, and identifies to the cards to become part of a harmonious tarot deck. Whether you are new to tarot or very practiced, this deck will lead you through your divination with the familiar faces of our planetary princesses. In the name of the moon, we appreciate you, Cat's Tarot Team. Very cool. And let's see if inside. Oh, here. Oh, this is cute. Look inside. I didn't even pay attention inside the box. We have, oh, you got this. And we can presume we have Luna, Artemis, and oh my goodness, why am I forgetting the third magical cat? I have to say the design here for the lining of the inside of the box is very nice. It's like a pink background and purple. Very nice color coordination. Let's put the box aside. Now onto cards. We can definitely see right here, right now, that we have a sparkly gold finish. Shiny. The cards also, I'm seeing right now, they are gloss. So we might have a little bit of issue. And we have some, I say might have a bit of issue in terms of the lights reflecting off of the cards. But this is a really nice rose and crescent moon design with some foil accents that we have on the back here. And it seems like the card would have originally been some sort of linen. And if I'm looking at the way the texture is on the card, but then they coated it. I guess that's fine, but I would have liked linen too, like a matte linen. And as we can see, they are reversible. And also the cards, oh, I was going to say they're quite thick, but it was just I had a card that was stuck. They're not too bad, and that's flexibility. Not wobbly. This is nice. Now let us see the front of the cards, which is the main meat of potatoes of this whole thing. So as you can see with the gloss, it's a little bit difficult, but that's okay. I'll just put it up like here. We have as a frame the tiara, and we have a little ribbon, title, and I guess a little moon coin type of thing. And you'll see here that as it's mentioned at the back of the box, it's a collab deck by 80 plus people. So with that being said, for those that are not too much of a fan of collab decks, it won't necessarily be cohesive other than the theme. Some might have different art techniques or things like that, but maybe that your love of Sailor Moon will overcome the fact that it's a collab deck, and that's kind of what did it for me. And also because there was an artist on there that I really like their art, so I decided to get it also for that. That was also another reason. So let us get our cards started. Yeah, definitely. If I put it on, ooh, okay, definitely a slippery. Let's see if I put it somewhere around here. I don't know if I'll be able to necessarily do that if I zoom. Let me zoom in a little bit. Okay, I'll go like this. I think that should be fine. Okay. And also, if you're hearing like this kind of like this constant noise, it is my fan. It's hot today. It's been hot all day. And even with my windows open, I still would have been quite hot. So the fan had to be on. So I apologize if there's a background noise or anything like that. But in any case, let us start our unboxing and flip through with the Fool here. Definitely a pivotal point when Usagi or Serena, depending how you came to know Sailor Moon, uh, begins her journey. Then the Magician. Cards are a little bit sticky. The High Priestess. I would almost say the High Priestesses at this point. The Empress. And as you can also see, you don't have the name of the artist on each card, which may be a good point or a bad point to some, depending on your taste regarding collab decks and how/where artists are credited. We have the Emperor, definitely cool. It would have been very easy to go with the Prince and Damien or Mamoru, whichever you learned it. Then we have the Hierophant. Now, as much as I've watched the complete season, at least twice right now, I still have events and names and stuff that escapes me. And yes, and also I probably should have, but I haven't yet. I did not read the manga. I probably should, because apparently I did hear and have heard that there's stuff um, that are not included in the anime adaptation. So it's on my to be read list. It's just I haven't done it yet. The Lovers. This is pretty cool. I'm trying to see if those are hands. Oh, those totally are. Pretty cool. And after that, we have the Chariot, which looks like Sailor Venus. Strength. Very beautiful. The Hermit. Sorry if I'm moving the deck a lot. It's just I'm trying to not have the light that's above me kind of block the art of it all. This is very beautiful. The Wheel of Fortune. We have Justice. The Hangman. Interesting with Pegasus. Oh, and those cards really are sticking. It's definitely, I definitely think it's because of the gilding that they're sticking like that. That's okay. Now we have Death. Temperance. The Devil. That is a beautiful art. I really like that one. Here we have the Tower, the Star. I can definitely remember that the very first time I saw that one of those final episodes in season 1 with Queen Beryl who transformed. I remember feeling so excited and so like, oh my gosh! So this brings like the memory. I almost can feel the emotion I felt at that time, like, wow, with the power of all the sailors, guys. We have the moon. Beautiful, beautiful. The sun. Looking all happy. Judgment. And the world. Very apt, even though it's on the moon, but the world. Now we're going to get into the minors with the Ace of Chalices. I'm for some reason I'm never too sure about which way to pronounce it. Hey Manor, can you ask a question? Well, it depends what kind of question it is. I'll try to answer if I can. I'll just get through the flip through. You can write your question and I'll see. But welcome to the live and thank you for hanging out. So now, yes, I was saying the Ace of Chalice, which will be cups. We got the 2. We have 3. Then 4 of Chalice. Going into the 5. This is so to me it speaks a lot. Here, I'll start sticking. Then the 6. Such a pretty. I always thought this was such like a wholesome, pretty little family situation with the 4 of them. Then we have 7. 8. 9 of Chalices. If we put it a little bit closer. This is really cute. I like that. Then on to the 10. Oh, that's another one I like. It feels very similar to the 9 of Cups or Chalices. And now we have the Page. Every once in a while, these cards are sticking. The Knight. I would have put Tuxedo Mask almost on that one. The Queen. I definitely see Silver Neptune on that one. And the King of Chalices. Silly Mercury. All right, now we are on to the Ace of Crystal. And to note, as we went through the cups, the banner here was blue. And we are going now to crystals, which would be pentacles, usually named. And here we have a green banner. I love the setting that they put here. Those 2, I didn't like them, but I also like them. I'm still conflicted with those 2. 2 of crystals. Then we have 3. This one is an interesting thing going on because I also can't quite place who these 2 are. I feel like I know the answer. I know who they are, but it's escaping me. If anyone knows, let me know. Comments right now. because it's escaping my mind who they are. Here we have the 4 of crystals. Then the 5 of crystals. Six. And sticky. 7 of crystals. 8. 9. That's so pretty. I have to bend it and stick them. And 10. And we have the page, which Serena's bestie. We have the Knight. Let me see. I see Pluto. Ah, okay. Untransformed and transformed. Okay. Okay. Got it. Then we have the Queen of Crystals. Ooh. And very interesting. And then the King of Crystals. Ooh, how cool. Okay. Let's move on to the swords. It's your swords. And now we have an I want to say orange, yellowish orange banner. Almost like definitely a Venus kind of realm. This is what I'm capturing because I was seeing a lot of Neptune and Mercury in the chalices, and then I saw a lot more of Jupiter in the Earth. And now here, oh my goodness, what is his name? Zoisite? Oh, I feel like I'm so wrong on that one, but that's the first thing that came to mind. In any case, the 2 of Swords. The 3, if you would please. Oh, don't cry. Then we have 4. That is quite a take, an interesting thing. Kind of Sailor Moon after the battles. And it's kind of interesting to think of that. What happens to the Sailor Moon and all the other magical girls while you're thinking about it? Like, what happens to them after the battle? Sometimes they get tossed on the ground, they get flung across like huge distances, get smashed against walls. So it was kind of neat to kind of think to paint or draw that. Now here for the 5. Ooh, another final battle. The Star Sailors. I think that's how I called them in my head for whatever reason. For the 6 of Swords. Then we got the 7. We got 8. We got 9. Ooh, how cool. That is very cool. Then we have the 10. I think Loki, if I think of all, out of all the villains that I know of in at least the animated version of Sailor Moon, I think Queen Beryl, I think, is my favorite. I thought she was the prettiest and the coolest. And I kind of still think that. Let me know in the comments who is slash was your favorite Sailor Moon villain. And here for the page, we have Sailor Venus, the Knight of Swords. At this point, we could almost say the Knights of Swords. Then the Queen of Swords. And the King of Swords. And I totally agree. Sailor Saturn as the King of Swords totally fits. Now the last one we have are the aces, or the wands I should say. And we're starting with the ace. Here we have a red banner. I do like the crows. I think they're crows, right? They look like crows from here. Oh yeah, totally. And one of the moon scepters. Two of wands. We got three of wands. Oh, Sailor V. She was a fun one too. Then we have the four of wands. Five of wands. That good old rivalry. We then have the six of wands. The seven of wands. That is very cool here. You can kind of catch all the different moon wands and scepters Sailor Moon had. Ooh. We have the eight of wands, the nine of wands, and the 10 of wands. Then we have the page of wands, the knight of wands, the queen of wands, because why not? And of course, that is Sailor Mars. And the King of Wands, which is kind of interesting. Having, I guess, Serena kind of like bummed out or something, maybe unconfident. But then behind, you see the silhouette or the ghost of that full potential, that leader. Interesting, interesting. And so there we have it. With that being said, we have, oh, there we go. That makes more sense now. We have completed our flip through and unboxing. As usual now, let me go and shuffle them and see. Oh, it's a little bit stiff. It's a little bit stiff. I did notice there was a little bit of a gap between the two stacks, so I'm guessing naturally they were maybe on two different sheets or something like that. So right now they're a little bit stiff to shuffle, but because it's a glossy finish, very easy. Very, very easy to shuffle. Like there's not going to be any sticky situation going on. It's more instead being careful that they don't all flip or that they don't fall out of your hands. But to riffle shuffle, I would say it's not too bad. Just maybe a little bit stiff to get them to at least just bend. To me, I prefer that I would prefer if the cards have a little bit more flexibility, so that I'm able to kind of do the riffling easier. Sorry, I couldn't see what I was looking at. All right, let's see what I have here, because I don't see my screen from here. I have to look at it somewhere else. Yes, Manur, yes, I did say earlier that I would be taking a question depending on what it is. I'm seeing here you have a question that I'm kind of half catching. What are Mohammed's current feelings, thoughts towards me? Is that the question that you're talking about? If that is the case and you are still currently in the live, let me know. I would, however, say when I do readings, I don't do for third parties. So in the sense that I don't go looking in their energy directly if they are not the one coming to me and asking the question like without permission, basically. So if you can reformulate or rewrite your question more towards a self thing, so essentially anything that you can control. Yes, that's the question. So yeah, so instead of saying what are Mohammed's current feelings, thoughts towards me, if you can perhaps write it in something that's a bit more within your control, perhaps what's the energy between us two, or what can I do um, uh, to either have this person. I'm assuming that you're perhaps interested in that person, or perhaps they approach you and you're not sure what they're about. So just if you can make it perhaps a bit more centered on yourself, because you can that 100% of the time in most circumstances control something from you directly, but you can't necessarily control others. I'm like explaining everything to essentially say like more of a first person type of thing. Okay, at least the more that I'm shuffling this deck, the more it feels a bit more flexible. I wish I could find that PDF of the guidebooks. At least I could show you guys what it looks like, but yeah, I'm kind of bummed I couldn't find it. And I bet you after I'm done this live, I'll find it so easily. So yes, Minor, whenever you're ready with your question that's more like an I question, closer to you than me having to peer into someone else's energy or thoughts or things like that, just write it in the chat and then I'll see what I can do for it. And yes, if anyone else has a question, let me know. And we'll see what this deck looks like when we are using it. It's been a while since I've shuffled a laminated, should we call it laminated or glossy deck? Lately, the last decks I've used, they've all been either matte or linen, or I think one of them was maybe more of a rose petal finish. So there was often chunks and things like that. Compared to this one, it's just very easy. I almost don't even have to think about it other than making sure it doesn't fall out of my hands. Are you still there, Manure? I'm trying so hard not to have them all spilled. Okay, so while Manure either thinks of how they want to express their questions, or perhaps just comes up with a totally different one, it could very well be the case. I don't mind that either. Let me just do a random 3-card pull and see what it looks like together. And it's kind of based on my usual type of readings. When I do them for myself, I kind of just pull 3 cards. It might not necessarily be a past, present, future. Sometimes it's just kind of a answer in and of itself. It really all depends. Glossy cards. All right. Let's see. What? Let's see. What kind of question can we do? Maybe. There. A general introduction. How about that? Okay. That's a general introduction, but it's gonna. All right. Yeah, we'll go like this. All right. Let's see how it looks together. Not too bad, except for the glossy part. So let me try. Can I move the cards away somewhere? No, glossy. Well, we have the Page of Crystals, which would be the page of, why am I losing my stuff here? Page of Pentacles. And then we have, it kind of fell in reverse, the Two of Swords. Okay. Then over here, we have the Six of Crystals, or Pentacles, like I mentioned. So fun. This guy, why you keep on wobbling? So fun enough, we have our 2 Pentacles kind of sandwiching the sword. So as a general introduction, I probably should have precise, more specific, introduce yourself deck, like a general introduction, but let's take it as is. If this was a general introduction, we would have here definitely a deck that will require a bit of studying, probably just some time where I just look at the cards, maybe think about what scenes or events in the movie, the animes, perhaps even the movies. Because now that I think about it, I don't think I've seen. I know I've definitely not seen all of the cinema movies, but probably maybe kind of refresh my memory about parts of the anime or movies or whatever else. Definitely take my time with it. It's not something that I can kind of fast food through it, like rush it. Then we have our Two of Swords. I decided to keep it reverse because that's how it fell. Normally, it's about things that we're considering, maybe weighing 2 options, but here being down, perhaps it's more instead of weighing your options, not to think about things too much. Not maybe like currently I haven't done like daily draws a lot, and then sometimes I think about it, if I should, if I shouldn't, if I should, if I shouldn't. So it's one of those like don't think too hard about it because you'll end up not doing it, or you'll feel rushed about doing something, and there's chances that you'll take the wrong decision. So it's definitely a take your time, a don't rush. And here, a six of crystal again. Um, uh, and I want to see it here. Normally, with the six of crystal or six of pentacles, it's kind of that generosity, sharing of your gifts, your talents, your time. But here with the art here, I want to say something different. I want to say it's one of those, and it kind of goes along with taking your time and not kind of hum and ha, as we say here, too much. It's kind of, I almost want to say like, um, see what's inside. Like, how do you feel inside? I don't know how to express it. In my head, I know what I want to say, but it's that's how it's coming out. Kind of um, like just kind of study, take it in, and share. I'm gonna say like my inner. What's the inner interpretation? Probably share it out, not necessarily by doing lives, but writing it out in my journal. So I almost kind of see it as a lady, you're kind of due for a little bit of journaling here. It's been a while. What are you waiting for? Stop kind of guilting yourself into the fact that you're not doing it, but when you think about doing it, you're kind of still thinking about it. This is kind of a general introduction, and I guess my general introduction is or get back to your daily journaling and practice. Well, what are we doing here? And so I feel like it's kind of a hey, don't forget us. Not and I almost say it's not just for this particular deck here, but for just my decks in general. And it's true. I've hit a pause, but in any case, hello, PS beloved. Let me see. I'm seeing your question. Hold on. What would I gain by moving back in with my aging mom? What an interesting question. Definitely a serious one and a difficult one, and definitely the type of decision that you don't slash can't take too lightly. So let's see what I can do for what you would gain by moving back in with your aging mom. All right. Camera. See, I knew it. And just pick up my cards that fell. Oh my gosh. Why is everything falling? Okay, give me a few seconds. It's like half of them fell. My goodness, why'd you do that? That is definitely a big disadvantage with slippery cards. They will fall. So sorry about that. Let me just at least place the cards. While I'm picking them up, I'm just going to take a moment to observe the card and pay attention to what comes out to me. I will tell you that I am seeing the Empress. There is the Three of Crystals and the High Priestess. The Three of Crystals being the Three of Pentacles. And definitely it's definitely neat that you have two major arcana right from the start, and what I would call two feminine figures or energies, however you want to consider it. And just I almost kind of have the impression um, that one of them is you and your mother, kind of a maiden and a crone type of situation that I'm looking with the cards. Hold on, I'm almost done picking up the cards. I'm just hoping by accident that they're not all flipped every which way, because like personally I kind of like all my cards face being all like right side up. So that's why it's taking a bit of time. Okay. All right. I'm back. I'm alive. So, yes. Okay. What was I saying? I remember now. Okay, sorry. I feel like my light is kind of fading. I hope not. Hope it's not. Let me see here. Okay. I think it should be fine. I think and I hope. All right, there we go. Okay. So now by the Empress and the High Priestess, I want to say here, to me, the Empress is the mother figure, although the High Priestess can also be a mother figure, but it's kind of ageless to me so a lot of the time. Um, so it's almost, I almost want to, it's definitely a you and her type of thing. And the Three of Crystal, which is the Three of Pentacles, it talks about um, collaboration, teamwork, um, uh, sometimes sharing things, or either sharing or learning, such as sometimes there's some skills. So sometimes in a team setting you would have something like maybe you're showing another person a certain skill that you have, or you're sharing knowledge. You're all coming together essentially for a project or some kind of task or work. um, from what I'm seeing, the main thing that I have or that comes to me while I'm looking at these three here is that the thing that kind of ties you to that option of moving back in with your aging mom is teamwork, collaboration, um, doubling like the assets type of thing, where one helps one in a little bit, that's something that they know less about, or maybe some difficulty, and then the other helps the first one, vice versa. uh, I'm not getting any sense that that option is necessarily bad. It kind of feels neutral, I'll say, even though the Empress is more or less, like, I usually see it as a positive. um, it's also because, like I mentioned earlier, the high priestess, I kind of see it a bit neutrally, kind of thing. It's not good, it's not bad. The high priestess is also one that is that kind of knows deep inside. The typical Rider Waite Smith image is the woman with the book of knowledge, and behind is the veil that has all this knowledge. So here on that side is kind of deep down. You have a good inkling, a good um, idea of the best avenue, and it's within you. Like the answer is within you. And here, this is kind of like on top of like the motherly figure I see with the Empress. It's things like projects, it's things like creativity. It could, like I mentioned, that option of living with your aging mom. That could be that whole project that you're kind of like looking at it. Okay, if I were to do that, how am I going to prepare it? It's that those kind of undertaking or actions and thoughts. It's can also be of abundance, also, which kind of goes well with the whole Three of Pentacles of teamwork. Oh, let me see here. So on point. A project I want to work on with her is getting my. Oh, that's so cool! An art studio upstairs. So I can kind of see that here. That would totally, I could totally see one of you just like sitting there in this art studio. Maybe you have like a nice window you can look outside. Definitely kind of be, it could be something like that. So, like I mentioned, I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Like I don't see it like super good, super bad. It's an option. Like it's a viable option. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'm not gonna add much more to it because I think it's kind of it's one of those. I almost want to put it that way because it's one of those where, you know what, while I'm doing this, I'm gonna say this is a younger person and the high priestess might be the older person. So I'm gonna say it's you and this is your mother. It's almost kind of a fusion type of thing here, to kind of go and because this is crystal, so pentacles, so it's something tangible, and something tangible can just be like, oh my god, like you mentioned the art studio. So okay, you're restoring your art studio and maybe together you're working on an art project together, or maybe it's like, I don't know, this cookbook that you're assembling of of like your favorite recipes or her favorite recipes. So it's not necessarily something monetary, but sometimes it's tangible. And I almost want to say like tangible can sometimes be just the knowledge, the stories, um, uh, the emotions. Because while you can't touch emotion, you feel it physically in your body. So I almost kind of want to put it in that crystals uh, work project type of category. So, like I mentioned, I keep on saying, like, I tell myself I'm going to stop rambling at one point and then I continue. So, hopefully, all of this makes sense and this kind of helps you in your decision or how you want to go about it. You know, I'm just someone that kind of looks into things, pulls a plug out of, or not a plug, pulls a string out of the universe, as they say, and see where it goes. Hopefully, it kind of it helps you to decide where you want to go. At the end of the day, you have all the power and all the capacity to decide for yourself. And I hope you're welcome, P.S. Beloved. Hopefully, this helps you. Um, so yeah, I don't know if Menor, you're still there, or if there's someone else who would like to ask a question. Let me know. I am seeing on my side it is currently, where is my time? Quarter to 10. I might not go farther than 10 because I do have to wake up early and I have to be responsible and go to bed at a sensible time, as opposed to staying up all night and then I feel like a total zombie next morning when I have to work. So hopefully, um, so hopefully you kind of understand if I do it when I do end up cutting by 10. If that, oh, and good thing I checked out my laptop. Let me go find my plug because it's telling me that I am on low battery. So give me just 1 minute. Give me just 1 minute. Let me go find my plug real quick. All right, we have found it. Okay, so like I mentioned, if anyone has any questions, and if you have an idea of what oracle I should pair this with, because I'm not too sure. What would be a good oracle deck? Because I'm looking at it and I don't know. I don't think there's a good answer. But yeah, oh, I never did kind of do my little review or whichever about the deck. But basically, the art is beautiful. It's very pretty. Definitely, like I mentioned, it's collab deck. Uh, my, I will say, my love of Sailor Moon overcame the collab deck aspect because just even, too bad that it's kind of like shining over there, but I'm just kind of go like this. No, it's not helping you. I'm trying to find a way to like deflect the light, but it's not gonna work. But yeah, just oh, there you go, ish. But as you can see, like different artists and different art style. You know, from the distance that I'm looking at the cards, some of them, when they are next to each other, it's not too dissimilar. Others, I would see the difference a lot more. Like for example, here and oh, here, let me put this in. So here and here, I will definitely see the difference of art style a lot more than let's see, there was one earlier. Maybe this one and this one, the Fool and the Page of Crystals. Those two, I would say they're similar enough that it's okay. So those two together compared to the Fool and the Knight of Wands. So this here, it's more forgiving in quotation to my eyes than these two over here. But it's not that bad that it's kind of like bothering me. The thing that bothers me a little bit more is the fact that it's glossy. So it slips all over the place. And as you saw through the live, I did not put my cards properly, or maybe I did not stabilize the cards before letting go of my hand on the deck, and I think half of them just flew out. Why are you not automatically um, is calibrating the Zoom? Anyways, but yeah, what was I saying? But otherwise, yes. Oh yeah, sorry if I'm hesitating. It's just the ideas are kind of crashing in my head right as I'm about to open my mouth to say something. I want to say that it's not necessarily beginner friendly, but at the same time, if you know enough about Sailor Moon and the universe and the lore, perhaps that will help you learn the cards more easily, because there is that aspect. However, just as is, like with me, who knows, I'm not a diehard Sailor Moon fan, but I know relatively well. But I wouldn't consider myself an expert or a pro. But with me, if it wasn't, like, let's say I did not know much about Sailor Moon, if I removed maybe half of what I know about Sailor Moon, it would be difficult, because some of them, like for example, the Six of Crystal. The Six of Crystal is about sharing. Um, there's a sense of generosity, things like that. But the imagery is not necessarily what you'll see. Like this doesn't necessarily say right away generosity, or well, there maybe sharing, but it kind of almost feels kind of like uh two different visions of yourself or something like that. Or here, death, yes, because of, oh, isn't that not inspired by that one painter, Klimt? Just that part right here, this struck me as very Klimt like. Okay, sorry, distraction. So I can see the reason now, like I'm looking at the card now and I'm just kind of catching on why it's death, is because it's Sailor Saturn. And she definitely was like that. In the anime, she's quiet, she's cute, she's this like small, cute little like wholesome muffin of a girl. But as in her sailor persona, full like spirit, she could like swish her wand and just destroy a world just like this. No problem. She was the most dangerous one, the most destructive one. So death. Three of Swords. This one, that's another example. Yeah, this one, I get like you can catch the meaning of the Three of Swords, so that makes sense. The Three of Chalices. Ugh, I'm mixing all my languages here. I'm not sure. This one, I'm not seeing party a lot. Seems like there's another pair. Who's the other pair of head? Like, where's the body? Am I missing it? Like, these arms. Where are you, girl? I'm not seeing it. It seems more like of a possession. love triangle like type of situation. I don't know, but it kind of feels that way. But anyways, so this is kind of, that's why I'm saying like it's not necessarily for beginners because of things like that where it's not the imagery of the classic Rider-Waite Smith. So you would definitely would have, I definitely would say it would be useful to know about the meanings before getting this deck. But at the same time, um, the imagery can speak to you enough that you can catch some sort of interpretation. Maybe like, you know, it happened earlier. Instead, like you get more of a feeling of study these cards, like study them cards a bit more instead of like procrastinating essentially or thinking back and forth what you should do. But otherwise, what I have to say about the deck of the gilding, I don't have to say nothing about the gilding. This gilding is so pretty. I don't know if you can kind of see, like I'm seeing a little bit of sparkles, but like very faint. And if you can kind of catch it here with the light, but it's very faint. But it's a very nice gold color. The back design is beautiful. Now, last I checked, and granted, the last time I checked for this deck, oof, I think it was a couple months ago. I believe I saw like copies floating around from the creators themselves or the group, Catstealers-Zine. They are sold out. If my memory serves right, there may, and I think this is what I saw myself, was secondhand copies floating around. I'll try to see if I can find it or find listings. If I do, I'll put them in the description of the live. And if not, then hopefully between this live and the day that you decide to go look for it, you'll be lucky enough to find someone who would like to sell their copy. For me, it's going to stay in my collection, as most decks, or yeah, all decks. Let's be frank, all decks tend to do. And let me see, I'm almost at 4 minutes to 10. If there's anyone in the chat that has a question before I go, let me know. Otherwise, I think I will take back those 4 minutes. I have my glass of water. I was going to say so I can drink some water, but here's my glass of water right there. But also so I can have a little bit more time, even if it's just 4 or 3 minutes by now. A little bit more time just to do my stuff, the routine, everyday stuff. Because, yeah, I would like to try to go to bed before. Okay, I'm aiming to go to bed before 12:30. Let's see if I make it. So in any case, I'm not seeing any questions right now. And this was fun. I'll try to do another live. In my head, I thought that I would have enough time to unbox another deck, but that was a little bit unrealistic of me. And I think I was a little bit too ambitious for my britches, but that's okay. I did my unboxing and I got to do a few readings. Hopefully, there'll be a few more people next time. I cannot tell you when's the next time I'll be on live. I'll say it right now. Even I don't know myself when I will put myself on live. But if it sounds so, I sound so like off in the wind. Like, woo, let me just do this randomly. But I promise there's some sort of order to my chaos. I will try my best to let you know in as much advance as possible if I do a live. If not, you will see probably one of the months ago now. You will see it pop out on the channel so that you can check out. Right now, I can tell you right now that I'm working on editing an oracle that I filmed. That is also an indie. It was a pretty fun one. And yeah, that is that. Look at me eating up all my time. The 4 minutes I said I was going to take to myself. In any case, thank you guys that came to my first live and helped me with my nervousness. The next one, I don't know. I don't know when it'll be. I'll try to do it somewhere between tomorrow and next week. So like it's vague, but I will try. Okay, I will try my best. So anyways, thank you guys. Bye, PS beloved. Bye everybody. Hope y'all have a great day, wherever the sun may be currently in the sky. And hopefully you have a peaceful rest of the week and a great weekend and summer, if it happens to be summer in your corner of the world. I don't want summer to end. So yeah, in any case, bye everybody. Until next time.